She claims Leach's move to have costs and fees taxed to her is actually illegal taxation without representation by the court for asserting rights.
So she's framing court costs as a form of taxation.
Exactly. She argues that only the legislative branch Congress, under Article 1, Section 1, has the power to tax, not judges, not the executive branch, and she connects it back to the Seventh Amendment jury right again.
Oh.
She argues that any compelled financial extraction is like a tax and therefore must be decided by a jury, by the people.
That's a novel argument, applying the taxation power limits to court fees in this way.
It is quite specific, yes. And this financial argument extends even further, doesn't it, into child support.
It does, indirectly. The affidavit references earlier parts of the case, mentioning demands for over $900 in child support under Title 4 VD.
Title 4V, that's the federal program related to child support enforcement. Yes. And the affidavit alleges this system is incentivized through federal funding, citing a specific U.S. Code section, 42 U.S.C. Section 658. She claims this turns child support into a revenue-generating engine for the state.
Implying a conflict of interest for judges.
That's the claim, that it creates a conflict of interest for judicial officers. And trying to compel these payments without a jury decision, she calls a criminal conspiracy involving multiple actors.
Again, very strong language. Criminal conspiracy is a high bar legally.
Extremely high. These are allegations within the affidavit representing her perspective and claims.
Okay, so given all these allegations, constitutional violations, improper finances, potential conflicts of interest, the affidavit then sort of dismisses the proceedings so far.
Pretty much. It asserts that every prior hearing in this case is tainted by fraud, perjury, oath of office violations, judicial bias, and a continuing absence of both personal and subject matter jurisdiction.
So basically, nothing that happened before is valid in her eyes.
That's the position. She rejects any idea that the case is already well into the trial phase, calling that irrelevant because the passage of time does not cure a due process violation. If it started wrong, it's still wrong.
And this connects back to the most serious outcomes she alleges.
Yes. The affidavit claims that after these tainted hearings, state actors retaliated against her. She says this culminated in the unlawful seizure of both minor children and finances without due process.
So she's linking the alleged procedural flaws directly to losing custody and funds?
Directly. And concluding that proper due process requires impartial fact-finding by a jury of peers, particularly when fundamental things like parental custody are involved. And to wrap it all up, she issues what she calls a demand to show cause.
Like demanding the court justify itself.
Essentially, yes. She demands a written, sworn statement from the court explaining 4 things.
Okay, what are they?
1, what kind of court is it acting as law and equity or admiralty? 2, what specific constitutional clause allows denying her Seventh Amendment jury right in a case involving more than $20? 3, what's the lawful authority to tax her, as she puts it, without legislative representation? And 4, what's the lawful authority to abridge her privileges and immunities?
So a direct challenge demanding answers on fundamental constitutional points.
Exactly. A very direct and formal demand within the affidavit itself.
So after digging into all this, what does it really mean for you?
It forces you to think about things like the separation of powers, the jury trial, and how are they actually applied in practice?
And how consistently, maybe, across different types of cases?
That's a great question it raises. How consistent is the application? And what real options do people have when they genuinely believe their most basic rights are being ignored or violated by the system itself?